on Fred Coetzer. Thank you very much for joining us on Talking Pigeons. You asked me earlier on a little question, why did I invite you to come on the podcast? The reason I invited you is the reason I invite most guys that you'll see on our podcast, is the positivity that they bring to our sport. In the shop we have a lot of talks going on amongst pigeon fanciers, and obviously your name has come up a lot with how well your birds have done for this fancier and that fancier and that fancier. So I think interesting for us to get to that, but before we get to that, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself, when you started, how you started, and then we'll get on to what you've served on, what you've done in the pigeon game, some of your highlights, and then we'll get on to the current birds and strains and exactly where you see yourself going from now.
Yeah. Russell, thanks. I appreciate the invitation. I'm not used to podcasts, and I'm not a celebrity, but yeah.
You'll be a celebrity after this, eh?
No, you know what? Yeah, let's get back to the issue at hand. How did I get involved with pigeons? Well, from childhood, I always had pigeons. You know, my eldest brother was actually the main guy. He started with it, although I was born in Pigeon, in the suburb of Calais-Hill, so I was actually a banana boy.
You see that on the comrades?
Yeah, look, yeah, and my eldest brother used to clean a hawk and assisted a guy who was paralyzed and was in a wheelchair. So he used to clean his hawks and I would go with. That was preschool for me. But yeah, it's some time ago, you know, a few years.
So you've been involved a long time.
Yeah, so I can still remember back in those days, my brother had a bicycle, and he never get paid for his services there, you know, when he assisted the guy.
Yeah.
And I honestly can't remember his name, but I think maybe some of the older people back then will remember this gentleman who used to be a pigeon fancier in a wheelchair.
Yes.
He was in Pinetown, Calais-Hill vicinity. Now, as a reward or as payment, shall I say, he actually gave my brother a pigeon or two sometimes. And then that was where I came in. And on the bicycle, I would sit on that cross member, hold two pigeons.
Yeah, that brings back memories.
Yeah, with the arms on the handlebars. And I'm telling you, there was no way that I would, you know, even by accident at least, one of those pigeons. So yeah, that's where I actually got involved with the pigeons. Yeah, it cost my brother a lot of heartache, because when he went to school, I was, you know, not even preschool, but for me, I would sit at the pigeon hawk. My mother used to call me and say, come eat and this and that, and I wasn't interested in food. It was just pigeons. But in the end, sometimes I would open the birds, because for me there was I didn't understand why certain pigeons were not allowed, you know, weren't allowed to go out and so I would practice the pigeons. So yeah, quite often we would go back and fetch them and so on, but that was in short the start. And then later years, the year when I started school, my father, we as a family moved back to Pretoria. And yeah, I brought my pigeons back in a box, a few of them, yeah. And I had pigeons all my life actually, but in the period that I went to army, you know, I was in the army and so on. They were just flying around at home and so on. And then I started to work later, and when I got married, I wanted to purchase a house as soon as possible. Moved in. Why? Because I want to build a pigeon ark, you see. I'm a real Afrikaner, so to speak, but Afrikaans speaking chap, but I married an English lady. She's you know, well Afrikaans spoken, she can do it. And for her it was something new, the pigeons and so on. But she assisted me, and I can honestly say without her support, I wouldn't have enjoyed my pigeons up to even today, you know.
Good.
She never questioned me at any time, why you want to buy this one and that one. Sometimes you feel guilty because you pay too much for it, you know, and whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's in short. And I started in 1985.
So when was your first race? When did you race? When did you start racing there?
In 1987.
Where was that?
That was in the Pretoria Racing Pigeon Federation.
Okay.
You see.
Yeah.
With a lot of tough guys. I mean, I used to work with C.S. Greilen. C.S. Greilen was a 5-time federation champion.
Yeah, I mean that federation's always been strong though. Eh?
Yeah, look at it. And I miss those days because honestly they were good guys, and there still are a lot of good guys there. It's a very strong competition.
Yeah, very, very strong.
And yeah, if you didn't go through the mill there, then I don't know, you know, a lot of people would say, the Pretoria guys, but I can assure you, if you went through the mill there...
I think that's changed a hell of a lot in the last, I would say,
10 to 15 years.
Yeah. Where we were speaking about outside, I think Pretoria's just one bar ahead of the rest of the Gauteng now. Whereas in years gone by, the GPU and the Federation, or the THU then and the TRPF, were the organisations that were known as the elite. Yeah. But for some reason, Pretoria's overtaken that.
Yeah, in the 80s and maybe in the 90s and so on, I think, in my opinion, we looked up to the TRPF.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
Honestly.
Yes, yes.
We admired a lot of them. We attended a lot of auctions.
Yes.
That Jack used
yes,
all and so on, you see. And yeah, there were lots of fancies back then. I'm telling you, I used to go there with $500 in my pocket, and I couldn't buy a pigeon at some auctions. I'm telling you. Yeah. And it was tough. Well, you'll just have to accept that you carried on. But back in those days, there were top pigeon fanciers, people like Don van der Westhuizen, and also a 5-time federation champion, if I remember correctly. And he shared it.
We mentioned that like 5-time federation champion or 3-time federation, but in those days the membership was also different to today. Eh?
Yeah, there was a lot of pigeons fanciers. To give you an idea, more or less as far as I can remember, in the 80s when I started, there were nearly 400 pigeon fanciers in the Pretoria Union alone.
Yeah.
And in the Federation, easy 80 members.
500 members of that.
Yeah, close to 500. But nowadays it's, and I'm sorry to say it, but I think it's a dying sport in the context of clubs and so on.
Yes, yes.
When our generation is gone, just look at the clubs. There's not a lot of youngsters. You see, nowadays it's all electronic games and
why do you think, is that what you think it is? Because of different interests?
Yeah, you know, even in Europe, I listened to a YouTube discussion between Maurice O'Donnell and Mike Gaines last night. And even my gayness in America, it's a dying sport in the clubs. So the people in future, I think, will go more for the one loft racing. You see.
Yeah, yeah.
It's expensive, yeah. Even one loft racing is expensive. But there's and I cannot speak for other countries, but I think in our country, especially in Gauteng, maybe more than the other province, the crime is an issue. Safety, your own safety, when you go and take your pigeons out for training, you see, and the high volumes of traffic, it's very difficult, and the competition is very, very tough. I'm telling you, in Pretoria, you can look at the people in Pretoria, top fanciers, wherever they even enter in one of the races. Look at Pro Africa.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's dominated by Pretoria people, but
it was.
But
to
a certain extent, it was. You see, and the people, they buy the best.
Yeah.
And you must, and
I think that's
always try and be, one step ahead.
And I think that's what Pretoria has achieved as a whole.
Yeah.
Because there are a few guys, including yourself, that have been able to maintain that one step ahead. And that's why your names keep popping up in the shop here.
It's nice to hear good things about your name, but it's not an easy sport. It looks easy, but it's a 365-day sport.
Yeah,
it's what you put in, what you're going to get out. You see.
Yeah. But saying all of that, I mean, the basis is good pigeons. Without that, you can do it 400 days a year. You're not going to.
No, you need the basic genetics.
Yeah.
And I moved to the Union in 2006. I was owner builder. I was still working back then, but over a period of 6 months, we built a house at Kameelrivier in Pretoria. It's in the northeastern suburbs or area, and I started to fly there in 2007. Flew a couple of races in the beginning with some of my old pigeons, and then I had a problem with my lungs at one stage. And I thought, my doctor even said to me, you must have a look at your lungs, and then I thought, your health is first. You can have everything in life. Yeah. But if you don't have health, you have nothing. Yeah. So then I decided, no, I'm going to stop with pigeon racing, and I sold some of the pigeons, and I gave others away to friends and this and that, and I had a successful family. In the Federation, those pigeons brought me a lot of joy.
What were those birds, if I may ask? How did you develop? Where did you come from?
Yeah, most of them were pigeons from the late Frans Verscheer's family, the Klein Mannetjie.
And the bluebells?
Yeah, not really the Janssens, but more the Vermeyen, the Smet lines, you see.
Because he was very famous for the Janssen side.
Yeah, he was. And he was very successful also.
Very. Even in the GP, in the THU, very successful.
Yeah.
With these birds.
And then Frans Verscheer was a well-known guy, and just by looking at him and the way he handles the pigeon and so on, you could easily see that he knew exactly what to look for, and we had a lot of respect for him.
Yeah.
So he had very good pigeons. I mean, I can't remember his name now, but there was a guy from the old Pretoria club. He used to be 10 years, a period of 10 years, the champion of that club. And he only flew those, the Smet, Vermeyens, and the Janssens of Frans Verscheer, you see. So they were very good pigeons. Even fatty liver still got.
So Fatty Liver sold a hen here at an auction here, and one of our guys in Benoni bought. Her name was amazing. She had a bit of all that bloody. And she became a legend here, the mountain runner she bred here in our club and our union.
Yeah, you get the pure, you see.
Yeah. So then you carried on with those birds, or did you get rid of all of them?
No, I got rid of all the pigeons for 2 years, and then in 2010. Look, I was always, if I wasn't involved, I was on the pavilion as a spectator, and I still had my friends and contacts and so on.
Yeah.
But here's the interesting thing. It's easy to get pigeons. I mean, you can get
100%.
from any guy. You can get. I'm sure a lot of people will say, "Listen, I'll breed you 2 youngsters, and I'll give you this, and I'll give you that." But there's a tendency of thought where you would say, "Maybe I'm not going to get the best. Why do I get it this and that?"
Yeah.
Sometimes there's good intentions in it, and so on.
Yeah, sometimes they are.
But people tend to always give you. Maybe not the best.
Not the best.
Because you're competition,
yes,
you see.
Yes.
And again, it's only my opinion. So when I wanted to start again, I went to the people who had my pigeons, and I wanted to get some of them back. And those top pigeons I couldn't get back, couldn't even buy them back. So, and that's when you realize who's your real friends, you see. But in any case, and then I made a decision and said, okay, I'm going to buy from Sun City, you know.
Okay.
That was the initial start.
Yeah.
Let me buy from Sun City.
Some of the imports on the auction.
From the auctions, you see, and see what. You know, obviously your budget can only stretch that far. So the pigeon is in your price class or not. So, and then I bought some of them, and I had limited success when I started again. I had limited success, especially more on the long distance, medium to long distance. If it's a medium distance race, but it's a tough one, they'll come. And then I start to realize that there's a difference between summer pigeons and winter pigeons.
Interesting. Explain that one to me then, because I've never heard that before.
Again, my opinion.
Yeah, no, I'd love to hear it.
Let's say Yuri Arvia.
Yes.
And no harm in it. But Yuri Arvia is not the biggest competitor in the union currently. He's fine good, but he's not the biggest competitor in our racing season, because it starts off in June, you know, ends in October and so on. But you can clearly see that these pigeons will do much better on the longer, the tough medium ones and the long distance races. Your pigeons come through, and that's where I started to think that, listen, the pigeons that I bought from the Sun City birds are doing better on the long races. So it's the tendency is when it's hotter, you see, and when it's further. And you can have a look now, for instance, as a matter of interest, go and make an assessment, evaluation, and see the pigeons, in my opinion, that are doing very well in the one-off races, the summer races.
The summer races, yeah.
You see, you can go and buy them, but their children won't perform as good in the winter year in our racing season. And I've seen it.
You don't think it's maybe because of the distance? Because our winter starts, you guys probably a bit further, but we start at 250.
Yeah, our races are further because you still from here you still give us another 70, 80 in some cases.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in the north of Pretoria,
so that's even more.
I looked this morning when I came here. It was nearly 100 kilos road, you know, by road.
Sure.
So it's a distance.
Yeah.
But for me, the fact remains the proof is in the pudding. Go look at your $1 million winners. I mean, Yuri had the opportunity to get a lot of them, you see, or blood, let's say.
Genetics,
genetics from them, you know.
And it's been very successful, eh?
And look, it's very, very successful. I mean, you can see all over where Yuri's involved in one Loft races. You'll get it, you see. Yeah, so it's a different breed. But, okay, and then in 2011, Marking imported a lot of Gabbies from Gabby himself, Gabby van Beerden. And I attended a lot of auctions, $1 million auctions. Now then, I must also say, if you're looking for a Van der Beerden, it's not every Van der Beerden on auction that you like. And the ones that I
think
like,
that goes for all the strains.
Yeah, for all the strains.
Yeah.
But the ones that I was looking for, and which I liked, couldn't afford. You see? So I said to Mark, listen, can I come and have a look? And he said, yeah, have a look. And I took a friend with multi-wheeler, and we said, okay, I like these two cocks and these two hens. Can you mate them together and breed me around the babies? He said, yeah, it'll cost you so much. I said, that's fine. And when I got the babies, I liked them a lot. And I said, listen, Mark, I'll tell you what, let me buy the parents also, because I like these pigeons.
Can you remember what lines of the Gabby there were?
Yeah. Well, I ended up
because I like those Gabbies and I knew those lines pretty well.
Yeah, I bought mostly from the Bliksem line, you see. Yeah. In one specific pair, it was, and I still have those two cocks. The one is not fertile anymore, but the other one is still breeding. He's still fertile, he's fine. 399 and 400 are the last numbers. They were bred from a son and a daughter of Bliksem Frida, you see. Very closely inbred. Only 4 were bred. I bought the 2 cocks. The others were a son of Royal Blue and Mona. I still have the cock. One of his children, well, the cock himself, his number is 3070277. That cock, and he's still there by me. He, Family Liver borrowed him from me. And he mated him with one of his hens. And in, I think, the last year that Sun City was there, this, well, we call it Sun City, but it's a $1 million race. That specific hen was after 4 hotspots, the overall leader. And then she got injured in the first race and so on, you see. But they're breeding well. I think they're doing well, but mostly longer races.
So that was how you started with your basics, getting back into
the game? When I got back into the game, then I started to purchase those pigeons from Mark and other imports on the Sun City auctions. But then I was racing in Crusaders Club. And you know, the guys in Crusaders are not playing around.
No, look, I think Crusaders has got a name for racing for the most money in the country. They must be one of the toughest clubs around that has been around for a while. They've had the champions there all the time.
Yeah, they do very well, exceptionally well. If you can beat Crusaders or one of those guys, you've got a good chance in winning the union, you see. So then, and let me also say, when I was in the federation, I had, the family that I had there was top-notch, short to middle. There was a time in 97 where I won the middle and long distance pigeons overall in distance. distances overall in the federation with the same family. But interestingly enough, in that same year, 97, when I won the middle and long distance points, on the short distance, I think I was second last in the federation.
In the shorts.
On the shorts, yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up being fifth, 32 points behind the federation champion back then. Overall, yeah, who was Jan Creer.
Yes. Yeah, I know Jan.
King and Creer later flew together, but Jan was on his own back then. So, and it shows you that the first 5 guys, difference of 32, could have gone anyway in one race.
Yeah.
So if I had a better season on the short distances, could have made it. But
so
the fact
I just want to ask you then, on those shorts, do you think it was the birds, or a lot of guys put it down to feeding?
Feeding methods.
Feeding methods.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Because, and I'll tell you why. My work took me to sent me to a seminar in Kimberley one year, in 97.
Okay.
And there was an article in the SA Postduif, SA Pigeon Journal.
Yes.
A very veteran wrote the article about me winning the middle and long distance points, averages. But luckily he didn't feature a lot, or focus a lot on the short distances, you see, because I was miserable, terrible, but in any case. And while I was at the seminar, we were there in Kimberley for, I think, 3 or 4 days. And I made an appointment with Derek Streek. Back then, 97. And I went to visit him.
He had some of the original blue voters.
He had very good pigeons, and he still got very good pigeons. Yeah. I met him, and we looked around these pigeons, and then we started to discuss feeding and what. And he asked me in general, how did I do? And that article wasn't available back then.
Okay.
You say it only came out a week or so after that, but after my visit to him. And then I said to him, I've got a problem with short distances. And then he explained to me, you see, what he would do, because he was very successful.
Yeah, he's a champion in that area.
Yeah, and from there on, no, short distances was piece of cake. Yeah. So, and it was the same family, you see.
Yeah.
But I must also say that I don't think, looking back at it now, I don't think those are one-off races, race pigeons. For Pro Africa and others maybe that are racing in the same racing time frame, I would say it's fine. But not
the summer.
Yeah, not good enough for the January, February, March one-off races, in my opinion. You see, if other guys want to enter them, they're well. They're welcome.
No, sure. But that's out of your experience that they.
Yeah, it's my experience. So, and then later, while I was at Crusaders, they killed me on the short distance. I'm telling you, I was on the board, but didn't feature in the top 10 often. Now and then, you see. On the short distance, and then as the middle distance came up, it improved. And when we were flying for the money hours and the bouncies, because I had the pigeons for the longer distances, so I did very well.
So you won, tell us, because early on you told us you won quite, in 3 years you won quite a bit of money there at one stage.
Yeah, the amount is not really important.
But the amount is very important, because that's puts the cherry on the cake, because that's what it's all about. You know, I can say you won a race of 250 rand 3 years in a row. The competition is not going to be that great, because no one's going to be pushing you to win the 250 rand. If I had to say it was 250,000 rand, I'd say you'd have to be on your game, because the other guys who are going to be pushing you to win that 250.
Yeah, I think I was on my game, because I won 400,000 in 3 years.
That's amazing. That's fantastic.
You see, but that was in in two different classes. The one is the 5,000 ring race. So you purchase every year, you can buy as many as you want. I bought one, sometimes two. One for 5,000, then for for two, and then you get for each ring you get a backup.
Yes.
And come the race, you can decide which one you can either enter the one that you paid for, the backup.
Okay.
If you want to enter the backup also, you pay in another 5. You see.
Okay.
So I was fortunate there, I made a couple of bucks, but I'm also telling you, on the 5,000 rand rings, it's a fixed price. But on their club breeder stakes, back then,
it's an auction time.
Yeah, it's an auction. The club breeder stakes is a club breeder stakes auction. And there they have, lately, after I left Crusaders, the prize money went up double, you see. I haven't taken part since I left there, but on the club breeder stakes, because you must actually be a member to bring pigeons. You see, other outside members can buy there, but you cannot as an outsider bring 2 pigeons because you're not in the club.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't take part in that actually. So you're welcome to attend and buy, but you're going to pay, pal.
Yeah.
Those guys are flying for big money.
For big money there.
And there's excellent pigeons. People buy the best, and they are very good jockeys. They know exactly how to get the best out of every pigeon. You see.
Yeah.
So
that took us up to then when you had those birds, and then you had the Sun City birds or the $1 million birds that you had purchased. So you had a little bit of mix of some imports, but you were still not successful on the shorts.
Yeah, in 2017, I went on pension in May 2017. And then I said to myself, well, let's make the best of it. Because I'm a competitor, I like to compete against the very best one.
Sure.
And 2 is, it's not just a hobby. Because a guy who's just buying pigeons or just taking part, just accept you're not doing well, and so I said, no, if you're a competitor, you'll
go for
the extra mile. So I did my research, and there are very good pigeons in South Africa, make no mistake.
No, they are, but now we come to the very interesting part of the conversation.
Yes, and again, it's my opinion.
Yes, but your opinion has proven well.
Yeah.
So
in my experience, I said, well, look, there's a lot of theories. You have a theory for eyes, and other guy have a theory on wings and this and that.
But there's no theory for results.
Yeah, but it's actually easy to select pigeons because I have a feet theory. I look at the feet.
First on the landing board.
First on the landing board. That's the best. Because build doesn't mean anything, in my opinion. I've seen ugly birds. They're just super birds.
Yeah.
And the more they win, or the better they fly,
the more beautiful they become.
Exactly. So, then I said to myself, well, I must get something. But as I always say, you must try and be a step ahead of everybody else. How do you do that? So I was fortunate enough, I did my homework, and then one day I was still at Crusaders. I walked in there and I came to the guys and I said, listen, does any one of you know anything about a pigeon called Kittle? And none of them knew anything about Kittle. And they'll then ask why. I said, no, because I just bought a cock bred out of a son of Kittle and a daughter of Kittle. But who's Kittle? I said,
you already bought it?
Yeah, I already bought it. You see.
Okay.
Because in
So
my...
you must be the very first then?
Imported the first kettles to this country.
Okay.
So, I said to him, kettle is the first national ace pigeon short distance, you see. And he said, no, he wasn't aware of it. I said, you can remember this, the name kettle. I think if he's as good as what history shows in Europe, in Belgium especially, then as soon as I have him, we'll see. And then, well, I bought him on Pipa, paid a couple of bucks for him, believe me or not. Pipa is not cheap.
Pipa's not cheap.
Pipa is not cheap, but in any case, then I made contact with Marcel Summers because I saw on his website he's got kettles, you see. So I always believe you must get as closest to the original as possible. You see, obviously, I couldn't afford kettle himself, and he's not even for sale. You see. So then, what do you look for? You look for a brother or kid or grandchild or whatever. I beg your pardon. Then I had a discussion and communication with Marcel Summers, who's a super guy. I'm telling you, Marcel will look after you.
He's very, very well known.
I'm telling you, he's if you have him as a contact in Europe, you can do well, and you won't send crap to you. He won't sell you any crap. So, in any case, he said to me, because I contacted him, I said, I'm looking for a hen to mate with this cock. I told him exactly, I bought this cock, and the cock that I bought was from, what's his name? Not a friendly chap. But in any case, I can't remember his name now. But very well bred. A son of Kittle and a daughter of Kittle, but not full brothers and sisters.
Half.
It's half brother, half sister, you see. So then I said, okay, I must get a hen. I made contact with Marcel Sanders, and he said to me, go to Pipa. There was a summer auction, you know, and they have different fanciers in one auction. He said, go look at that specific hen. He said, he would recommend me buying that one. So I bought that in. Also paid a couple of bucks for her. And that's what I'm saying always, you know, people are saying, yeah, Fred, your babies here and there are expensive. You cannot purchase a pigeon for 100,000 and sell babies for 2,000, you see.
No.
That's just how it is. But in any case, when they came in, I collected them here. You know. But it was about 18 months later only.
Yeah.
Back then we battled to get them in. And I collected them here. But also in that group that came in, I bought a hen, also on Pipa, who was a half-sister from Oliver, who won the $1 million. I still have her, she's breeding well, but long distance. And interestingly enough, they were all blue-bar pieds.
All of them?
All three of them.
So no reds?
The two kettles and
the Oliver.
Yeah, the kettle hen that I bought was bred from Brad, who's a red cock, and Angelina, who's a red hen. Yes. But she's a blue-bar pied, you see. So, the day I collected them, when I don't know if you were here, I can't remember, but in any case, they gave me 3 birds. I said, as they take them out, took them out the boxes, I said, there's a mistake, these things are not mine. He said, how do you know? I said, mine are all blue-bar pieds, these are checkers and this and that. And eventually I ended up with the right 3 pigeons. By the time I got home, Ferdy Liver contacted me. He said, I heard your kettles came in. I said, yeah. He said, I heard they're beautiful pigeons. I said, where do you hear that? He said, no, from somebody here who was also here. So some of the guys here may have handled them. So Ferdy came and he visited me. And you know, Ferdy is not stingy about money buying pigeons. So he said to me, here's my checkbook. What do you want for the hen? He liked the cock, but he was crazy about the hen. And I said, no, I'm not going to sell. But in any case, that's how I started with the sprinters, you see. And then through Marcel Sangers, I made contact with him because my research also showed that Lincia, you know Lincia. Lincia was the best middle distance pigeon, still till today with the best coefficient, you know, over the middle distances. And I said, well, I must get some of those Lincia pigeons, you see. And I said to Marcel, listen, is it possible for you to send me the pedigrees of those that you have available? And then I saw that he's got he had a full brother and a full sister of Lincia. How close is that? So then eventually he bred me 2 babies. The one is bred from, the hen is bred from a full brother and sister of Lincia. And the hen, the cock is bred out of a son of Lincia. Lincia was mated back to her grandfather. Is het gebroken poot of afpoot of ek kan nie onthou.
From one of those.
But it's inbred, And I brought that in 2019, I think. And that's, I think...
So did you start crossing them with your own birds? Or
I started to
did
cross...
you buy any other local more strains?
I'll come to that, but I crossed the cock out of the Lincia line.
Yes.
I called him Marcel. I've crossed Marcel with a kettle hen. And out of those pigeons, I put them all to stock. I took some of them, I bred them with twilights, for instance, and they won me the union, you see. So I think they're very good pigeons to cross here. Yeah, 1 year, I'll tell you, it's 2012, Mark Kitchen, Mark King came to me. Not 12, 2017, he came to me and he said, aren't you interested in buying a round from me? And I said, yeah, let me come and have a look at your birds. And
good birds there, eh?
Yeah.
Very good birds there.
Kings always had very good birds. You know, when I met Johan King in 1985, he used to have 6 pigeons, 6 breeding pairs.
Yeah, that's very strict.
And he was, I'm telling you, if he's not first, you never want to clap until you've opened his clock, you see. So, I always had very good pigeons. So I bought a round, and here's an interesting fact. I bought 20 babies, and out of the 20, I had 6 winners.
Sure, that's a good rate, eh?
That's a very high rate. I'm telling you, and I still have some of them in stock, and they're also breeding well for me, but I crossed them with the imported pigeons. Johan's got to say, Johan will say, you see import one and crossing with a Buddha path, you know. So, it works.
No, it works. So that's basically the local line that you used.
Yeah,
did you ever try any of the Tom Locks or the Spritzies or some of the other famous lines from the South African lines? With success, I mean.
Yeah. Fred Coetzer is not family of mine, but...
A similar surname?
Yeah, he's a brother from another mother.
Look, I rate Ferdy's birds very up for me because they've done very well for me. So I rate these birds, the right ones that are selected, they fly very well for me.
Look, I don't know Ferdy for, I think I met Ferdy in 2011, 10 or 11.
Okay.
Yeah. very good pigeons. Now, over the years, even when I was flying in the Federation,
yes,
you could see the name of Fred Coetzer appear quite often as a union winner, this and that. And Fred is not stupid with pigeons.
No,
he knows exactly what's
he's
going
very,
on.
very wise with birds.
So he's got an eye for pigeons. He's a bad loser, like me. You know, we don't like, yeah, if you're a competitor, you don't like losing, but yeah, he's got very good pigeons. I, with great success, bought some of his pigeons. You know, at one stage, I approached Ferdy and I said, listen, I'm looking for cross material. That was before I brought in the kittles and so on, you see, because I had these long distance birds and so on, but I wanted to get them all-rounder. And Ferdy's pigeons, the blowbiller, as he called them, they fly short, middle, long.
Like everything.
I'm telling you, they're very well all-round pigeons. And I approached him and I selected a few and he didn't want to sell them to me. And then I said, okay, contact me when they're available one day. And then one day he came to me and says, okay, I'll sell, not cheap, because if you want the machines, you pay for the machines.
100%, yeah.
So I bought a couple of them. And I still have some of the old ones. And they bring me winners. Make excellent crossings.
Yeah.
Especially with the kittles and so on, you see. So, and other lines. So, yeah, and then you asked about the Tom Locks. I never had Tom Locks. And then at one stage I approached Alwyn Bester and I said, listen, Alwyn, you've got some of the best Tom Locks. Can I have a look? And he said, yeah, you're welcome to come and so I
and he has some of the best there.
Yeah, I ended up buying the old cock back then, Super Tom.
What was his last 53 was his last?
He's 53, yeah. And I think I'm the only guy who still have children out of him.
Direct of Super Tom.
They're direct out of Super Tom, Success with the Tom Locks? Not really, and I'll tell you why. I don't think it's their fault, it's my fault, because I haven't bred much of it. You see? Yeah, I at one stage imported too many pigeons, and you don't get to all of them.
Yeah, so but we've only mentioned like 3 or 4 that you've imported.
I imported a lot of different pigeons, top-notch quality pigeons.
Okay, so if we can go down that line a bit, just for interest's sake.
Yeah.
Before we get down that line, are you, just so the viewers know, are you prepared to sell out of those babies to them if guys contact you? And
yeah, I've established, I asked a friend of mine, Cobus Creel there in the Western Cape, to develop a website for me.
Okay.
And Cobus did a very good job in it, so I must still send him certain information to get all these different breeds up on it, you see. And then we'll see. I'm willing to sell some of the. I've already sold some of the babies.
It's just I like you. Why I ask is I like that because some guys they can't afford 100,000, 50,000. But they can afford the 5 or the 10,000 to buy the baby and put it to stock and with success. Yeah. Which is why I like the studs and I like the guys that import because it gives everyone a fair chance later down the line. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. And then if you can tell us what you brought in then.
Yeah, let me start off first with Johnny Eckel. I don't think there's anybody who knows anything about Johnny Eckel.
No.
Yeah, I think it's the best cock in my hock. I haven't sold any of his birds or babies. He's a Licorice all sorts pigeon, but let me tell you something. And you can please make a note and go and have a look. That's why I said, I did my research. I always tried to be ahead of everybody and buy the best. Now, what is the best? And this is, it's a problem because you must bear in mind you can buy a pigeon. Anybody can buy from overseas auctions. It's available. You can go on auction
Yeah,
now and
right,
buy.
yeah.
But it's a chance that you take. It's a gamble in most instances.
Most.
I think 99, I can't well actually put a percentage on it, but I think most of the guys are honest and straightforward. A lot of people said that the best pigeons are in Germany. That may be so, but I was on an auction, can't remember which site, but because I'm going through all the sites, I don't purchase so many anymore. But I saw this bird. He was the only guy, the only bird from this specific guy, and his name is Johnny Eckel. You spell it John. No, Jonny. Johnny.
Johnny, yeah.
Without the H.
Yeah.
Eckel, E-K-K-E-L. Go and have a look at that guy. He's a youngster. He's about, I guess, maybe 40 years. Well, for me, he's a youngster.
Belgium?
He's from Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eckel. Now, what is interesting about him is he's got a small loft. Initially, I didn't know that. You see, because who knows Johnny Eckel? You can ask 99 out of 100 guys. If you get to me, I'll tell you who's Johnny Eckel.
Yes.
But I saw this bird, and I said I must have this bird. I just liked him. It's a cock, a checker cock.
Any results on him? Any background on him? Any info on him?
Yeah, he's got 4 different lines into his pedigree. He's got Cannibal in him. He's got Peter Veenstra in him. He's got Gladiator a little bit of Gerings in it. And he's got Bas van Kerk in it. You see, for Kerk pigeons.
Yeah.
Those are all top pigeons.
All fancy. I know all of them,
yeah. And I just like the pigeon. You know, it's like walking down the street and you see a lovely lady. You just know. I mean, I met my wife on the 28th of November, 79. And the 29th, I said to her, I met at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Next morning, 10 o'clock, I said to her, I'm going to marry you, you know that. And that's how it is. You have a feeling for it. You connect or you don't connect. So I bought the pigeon.
What year was this now? This Johnny?
He's in 2018. I got him 19. I bought him as a baby. And I got him about 13 or 14 months later.
Okay.
In November 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 2019. And when I received him, he was going through the molt and he wasn't bred, you know, ready to breed and so on. So I bred from him. I made it into one of my kittles, a direct daughter out of the import pair.
Yeah.
And I got the one, a late bred, and in 2020, during the COVID period, we trained him up, and he ended up being the bundle, you see. And in the end, I said, no, I'm not going to raise him, he's too young, you see. I kept him back, and this 2-year-old, he won the union for me and Gauteng province.
So he didn't race as a baby?
Didn't race as well as late bred.
Yeah, late bred, yeah.
I just tossed him up.
Yeah.
So, I bred him in 2020, but he's got a 2019 ring on.
Yes.
Because you know, at Gauteng, with most of the organizations, you don't get a ring before 1st of May.
100%.
So, which I don't like, by the way.
Yeah.
Because my year starts, I celebrate New Year the 1st of January.
The whole world does, but that's another discussion.
Yeah.
The whole world starts on the 1st of January, except us here, we start on the 1st of May.
Yeah, so Johnny Boy, that Johnny Eckel cock, I notified him. I said, listen, because it's lucky for me to give feedback. I said, listen, your pigeon, the baby excelled. I only had the one, and And then every year, these babies are either winning the union.
Different ends?
Same end. The union winners are all from the same end.
Okay.
But his children with other ends are also doing exceptionally well.
Okay.
I mean, last year, I won, his daughter won for me. I think it was 540 k's. It's not that short, but...
No, that's a nice distance.
Yeah, it's a nice distance, middle distance.
Yeah.
But
can be hard depending on the weather, yeah. Can be tough.
And then another son of his, 384, he won the union, and then he made a second union, just one turn. Alvin put me there, bugger. I phoned him afterwards and I said, well, congratulations and so on, but I want to tell you, I made one turn too many. But in any case, and that same pigeon last year flew a second, a third, and another third.
Sure.
You see, he's at stock. So the Johnny Eckel pigeons. So the interesting thing.
So did you only ever bring in one Johnny Eckel bird?
No, I'll get to it now, because let me explain. When you're successful with a certain breed, get more.
100%.
So then I made contact with Johnny, and I said, listen, I need more. But unfortunately, he sold the father. Now the mother and father they were yearlings when they bred this cock. Hey?
Yeah. So
he sold the father to a guy in China, you see, or Taiwan, I'm not sure now. But in any case, so he couldn't breed anymore out of that line. But here's the interesting fact: that pigeon was bred in 2018. Now, in the same year, he bred a pigeon called Anne-Marie. I have a photo. I can show you when I'm finished, if you remind me.
Yes, you can WhatsApp it to me. We can put it up there.
Yeah. The interesting fact is this Anne-Marie was the first national ace bird out of a hawk or loft from Johnny Eckel. He's got 55 pigeons. Youngsters and old ones. And to breed out of a small loft like that, a national ace pigeon, beating guys like Veenstra, Eierkamp.
All the names.
What
distance was that ace pigeon?
Short distance, yeah.
Okay.
So I said to him, listen, is it possible then, while you can't breed the same as this Johnny boy, is it possible that you can breed me like Anne-Marie? He said, no problem. And he bred for me too. It cost me a couple of bucks. A brother and sister, I imported them, and I'm going to fly their children.
Okay, that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. With crosses.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and that's why I'm saying it's difficult to determine what is the best bird. Is it the big bird, is it the medium bird, is it the small bird? Because you may feature or favour a smaller bird or bigger bird. I don't know. These are big birds, I'm telling you, these are big birds. Like the kittles. Most of the kittles are big birds.
So I've handled a few birds. The biggest bird I've handled, which I'm talking is chicken size, was a 5-time winner, Sampo gold medal for Pat Wright. And that was over all distances. So at the end of the day, we can only like what we like, but I don't think we know until the birds, until your feet theory.
Yeah, look at the feet, that's the best. And keep the best.
Yeah.
Alright, so the Eccles, excellent super pigeons. I still want to cross them with the Lencias and so on.
Yeah.
Now, I imported a lot of other pigeons, mostly from Germany, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
As I said, I think for club pigeon racing is a dying sport. In one generation, I don't think it's going to last another one. So, and you and I don't know how long we're going to be in good health and how long we're going to take part in sport and so on.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say I'm going to be involved in the sport on club and union level, say for 3 or 4 years and so on. But I'm slowly going over to the one loft races, you see.
Yeah.
And that's why I started to focus more on the one loft pigeons.
Okay.
And that's why most of them that I imported, there are certain exceptions. I imported a Kittle cock again, a very inbred Kittle cock.
They're also doing well in the one lofts around the world as well now, the crosses.
Yeah, the crosses.
Yes.
So the cock that I bought in Germany, another Kittle cock, I received in November last year. It's a red and white pie, beautiful cock, super cock. He's got Kittle's mother, Olympic Rosita, 5 times in his pedigree, so he's very inbred.
Very inbred, yeah.
But in any case, the other pigeons, let me start off. Thomas Cornelius. Do you know Thomas Cornelius?
No.
He was the guy who bred Sun City.
Mr. Sun City.
No, there's Mr. Sun City, who's from another guy,
Yes.
and then there's Sun City, the pigeon who bred Rubilos.
Okay.
And Laura's a big winner today.
Yes.
You see.
Okay.
When he entered the Rubilos,
Yeah.
it was still at the old Sun City.
Okay.
And the Rubilos won there. And then my gainers bought the Rubilos.
Okay.
And then afterwards some people, the father and mother of Rubilos was for sale, and he bought them.
Okay.
And then he mated the Sun City cock with another hen. I think it's Margaret's Treasure or something, I'm not sure.
Okay.
And out of that, they bred this Laura's a big winner today, who won the $7 million.
Yes,
You see. So I imported from the same guy, Thomas Cornelius. Thomas Cornelius also won the Algrave or Algrave, how do you pronounce the Algrave race, I think in 2018, with a pigeon, Thomas 6.
I know that pigeon.
Yeah, Thomas
He belongs to
Cornelius.
Pippa, doesn't he? Thomas 6.
No, Thomas 6 was brought by again.
Yeah.
Now Thomas 6 won that race with 24 minutes lead,
Yes.
which is exceptional.
Yeah.
And that's why I made contact through an agent, Martin Steffel, who assisted me in purchasing some pigeons there.
Okay. From Cornelius.
Thomas Cornelius.
Okay.
Then there was another guy, Helmut Schultz.
Him I know.
Yeah, he's got Alzheimer's now.
Sure.
Apparently he doesn't have pigeons anymore. I imported from him directly.
Yeah, that's a top lot there.
Yeah, he's got some of the best young Armans there. He had a hen, Miss Black 199. The number is Miss Black 199. I beg your pardon. At one stage, when they diagnosed the Alzheimer's with him, he's not well. Hardy Kruger bought this Miss Black 199, the young Arden hen. Now she bred.
Is she the mother of all the
She's the mother of
Black Pearl and
no. But she's the mother of Black Chap,
okay,
who was at our SA $1 Million, was in the final 6, and she was 9th overall.
Yeah.
You see, on average.
Yeah.
And then she bred Crazy Bird with another cock, not the same cock.
The same cock, yeah.
Crazy Bird, who was 13th in the final.
Also for Hardy.
No, not for Hardy.
Not
for Helmut Schultz.
For Helmut Schultz, okay.
You see, for Helmut Schultz.
Okay.
13th final, if I remember correctly, and 3rd overall. You see, average. exceptional pigeons. So I imported from him.
Okay.
I bought a cock on an auction from Nils Gerdeman. He's also a German guy.
Yeah.
Super pigeons. The cock is called Triple Black. He's got that mist in his pedigree.
He's got that.
His mother was bred from a daughter of Miss Black.
Oh, okay.
And his father was inbred on both sides to Black Champ. A full brother of Black Champ and a full sister of Crazy Bird, where Miss Black features on both sides.
Okay.
Then I bought in from another, I can't remember the guy's name, but it's Pigeons, also a German guy. I couldn't get pigeons from, what is it, Freddie van Heerde, Freddie and his brother.
Yes, Freddie and Rock.
Yeah. Now, they've won, if I look at statistics, I will say 4 years ago, they won 20 nationals in 10 years.
I visited them. They're phenomenal. Loft.
I'm telling you, that's exceptional.
One brother's the headmaster at the school, and the other brother trains pigeons.
Yeah, so you've met them, I never.
Yeah, I went over there. When I went over with Mark and Roland Bauer and Mark and when we went to visit.
Oh, okay, you were part of the group.
Yeah, I was part of that group, yeah. And that's not a lot of birds, but fantastic results.
Yeah.
And then again, just going back to your theory of the feed, we handled the birds, and he said, handle this bird. No one said anything about the bird because it was an ugly bird. And he said, no one judges this bird because everybody's written it off. But he said, I can tell you, this is my best race bird, my best stock bird.
Yeah.
I remember that clearly. So it was an eye opener there.
No, it shows you.
Yeah. So you can like what you like, but I think the feed theory is the answer.
Yeah. You can only go according to that.
Yeah.
I should have made a list of the guys. I can't remember all the names.
Yes, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, but in any case, and a very good friend. I haven't met him personally. Initially, it was tough to buy from him because he used to sell only to people or through people.
Yeah, sometimes I got contracts with him. So
sometimes there's contracts. I'm not sure if there was a contract with him, but whenever I enter Pigeons, he's always the first. I don't even have to look. He's always the first one to come to me and say, "Fred, your bird scored there and there, and one Loft and so on." Heinz Eichertolgende. Yeah.
Another German guy.
Another guy, from Germany. And I'm telling you, his pigeons, let me give you a simple example. He had the parents of, he's still got the parents of Oliver.
Okay.
Who won the $1 million
in,
I think, 2013 or 14.
Yeah.
Which Mike Gaines bought.
Yeah.
Children that Mike Gaines out of Oliver will cost you
crazy money.
$10,000 each for a baby.
Yeah.
So those of you who can afford it, buy it.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
But in any case, I bought on auctions. I initially bought, when I bought the kittles, I told you, I bought a hen, half sister of Oliver. Yeah. Same mother, but the father is a full brother of Oliver. So it was a mother-son mating.
Really similar.
Yeah, lovely hen. And her children were doing well, and I thought, well, I must get maybe a cock. I arranged, communicated with him through emails, and he didn't have any available. And then I followed the German auctions, and I purchased a cock. His number's 810. It's not the sublime, but it's 810.
Yeah.
Red ring. So I bought him. He was bred out of a full sister of Oliver and a full brother of Second Chance. You know who Second Chance?
I've heard the name, but I don't know exactly.
Second Chance was $2 million.
$2 million.
Yeah. In Second Chance.
Ended up with Gaines or not?
I don't think so.
Not.
No, second chance I think is with young Hoymans.
Oh, okay.
But in any case, I think so. And then the very next year, the guy who entered Gerbart, I can't pronounce the name correctly. He entered, he's friends with young Hoymans also.
Yeah.
He entered amazing second chance. And the year after that, they entered Amazing Day. And Amazing Day was, I think, third on averages. So it's very good pigeons.
Very good birds, yeah. If they can be consistent like that, they have to be.
Yeah, and then I bought another cock, bred out of, also on auction, out of sister of Hanover, with the inbred. On the father's side, it was a cock bred out of the second chance and Hanover.
Okay.
So on the first cock, 810, was bred out of a sister of Hanover with a brother of second chance.
Yeah.
The other one is also a sister, different sister, but the cock was already, the father and mother was bred from Hanover.
Okay.
And second chance. And then I communicated a lot with Heinz, superb friend, very good guy. And he, I then in 2020 arranged for 5 to be bred, youngsters, out of the Hanover line.
Yeah.
And then 2 of my friends, 3 actually, Monty Wheeler, he bought 1. He's just a cross Hanover cannibal.
Also good fancier, Monty's been around, I mean his name's been around.
Yeah.
I don't know him, but I know his name.
Yeah, you can discuss with him, he's a super guy.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Trotsky.
I've met him here.
He used to be in the Fed and then in the Union and then the Fed. He's also buying the best of the best.
Yes.
So he's asked me, Fred, can I also import some? And I said, yeah, how many you want? I arranged for the pedigrees and so on. I was actually the middleman and he bought 3. And then another friend, Lucas van Heerden, bought also 4. Now here's the interesting thing. Out of those that we imported in 2020, those Hanover pigeons, I entered a Sablon Hanover cross last year at Vic Falls. And on hotspot 3, I was the first South African bird, placing 6.
Yeah, that's one of the toughest races.
Yeah, that's a tough race. The last, just recently, the last Cape Town race, Daniel entered one of his Hanover babies, out of his Hanover imports. He imported 3. He entered one at Cape Town. And in the last hotspot, he was 37 minutes ahead of the second pigeon.
That's right, I saw that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Then, Lucas van Heerden, his one bird, 0571, was used by Boshoff, who crossed him with the Sablon hen from Stanley, Viljoen. And the baby there was entered at Carnival City.
Okay.
And that one was Hayes bird.
Sure.
You see. So these are all.
So it's all genetically.
It's all genetics.
Yeah.
It's all about genetics.
About genetics.
Yeah. Super pigeons.
Genetics goes one way, but then what do you specifically, do you have a breeding system that you stick by, or do you just breed by feel, or do you inbreed, cross? What is your basic system when it comes to breeding?
What used to work for me and will still work, and what I like is to have 2 separate families.
Okay.
Inbreed, and then cross.
Explain your inbreed, what you call inbreed, what you call line breed, because
Inbreed,
means
anything,
different to different.
preferably brother and sister.
Okay.
people like neef, what's it, nieces?
Yeah, cousins.
Cousins, yeah. Yeah, nieces, it's others. No, nieces, no. It's your brother's child, that's a niece.
No, but yeah.
Your brother's child.
Yeah,
or your sister's
sometimes
child.
like cousins.
Yeah, like cousins. But
yeah.
Some people prefer cousins. I prefer brother, full sister.
So you take a full brother, full sister, and then what do you do with that baby?
Use those babies, cross them with another family of full brother, full sister.
Completely different.
Yeah.
And then those babies that race well.
Very well.
But can they breed?
Obviously, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, look, there's no guarantees in life.
No, I'm just saying, but you could use them for stock.
You know what's but in my opinion, and Mark King once said to me, Fred, if you look at this and this and this, then pigeon flying is racing. I said, yeah, there's one thing that we can never be certain of, and that's one thing that you can never evaluate or assess. How do you get to evaluate the will of the pigeon to go? That's the big thing.
Yeah.
With respect to God, if it was possible for you to go into a pigeon shop where you can buy parts, and you can select, there's the wings, there's the bodies, here's the feet, here's the eyes. On a computer program, you select, you assemble a whole pigeon. You can say, this is the perfect pigeon. Maybe you'll win the show.
You need the GPS included there.
Exactly. So, the will of the pigeon.
Yeah.
You have a lot of guys who can be exceptional lawyers, but they're not interested in law or the legal side of it.
Yeah.
Other guys have all the skills and potential to be the best boxer, but he's not interested in boxing, you see. And that's the thing with pigeons. I mean, I've heard about certain pigeons. There's a specific pigeon who was too lazy to practice. He doesn't even want to. If you chase him out to fly from roof to roof, you see, and said, no, I'm kidding. Gave the pigeon to another guy and he bred a lot of winners. So it's about genetics.
Yeah.
And if you're fortunate enough to get the right combination.
Combinations that click with each other.
Other people tend to believe, no, every year mix them or pair them up differently. If I have a winning combination, why separate it? You see, like my Johnny Ecclecock.
Yeah, you'll never split him.
I'll mate him first with the hen that he bred for me, union winners.
And then try.
And then I'll try him with others, you see.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Sounds like an
You always
exceptional pigeon name, Johnny Ecclecock.
You must come and have a look at him.
No, I'll never forget the name now, and I'll go Google him later on today.
You know, I gave recognition to Johnny. And in an auction he had afterwards, he referred to my reference.
Okay.
And I have it, I copied it. And then it gives me great joy.
Yes, of course.
Not to see my name.
No.
That's just an extra. But for him, like Hans Eicher, now, it's lucky for me to let him know in Germany that, listen, the pigeons we bought in 2020, look how successful they are. Now, in 23, 24.
But going back to the flavour of the month, I call that it's gone, it's a craze all over the world, is this kettle, some of it's base kettle, but mainly kettle. Did they set you off the light? Did they?
For sure, I took the...
Because you were the first to bring them in, so did they immediately...
Yeah, I could have made a lot of money about, with them. In 2018, I bought them in 17 and I received them late 18. 18 months. I think also in November around there.
Okay.
But here's the interesting part. In 2019, I still have the property across the road, another plot, because I reside in the plot.
Yes.
And all the investors, building contractor, and I said, listen, yeah, I can also do it, but I would just went on pension, nearly a year on pension. I said, please build a house here, and we negotiated the price needed to frame the whole body. But while he was there, he came to look at my kittles, and when he saw them, he said, no, that's fine. He went over also to Marcel and others.
That's right, yeah.
And he bought exceptional kittles, you see. And he marketed them well.
You did.
You see.
Did, yeah.
I didn't. I kept them to myself initially.
Yeah.
So the first couple of rounds that I bred out of them, I put them all to stock. To multiply them the first day.
Yes.
And then the sons, I took the sons, there were 5 sons. And when they're young, I can still show you clips. They're aggressive.
I saw some of those clips because
they have a fighting spirit. I'm telling you, you can even come and look there by me now.
Paul Becker.
Yeah.
Paul Becker showed me some of the clips.
Yeah. But in any case, the first 5 sons all bred winners for me. Club at least, club winners, and very high up in the federation. The first year I raced with those I ended up second union averages in the short distance.
Yes, so they did their job immediately.
Yeah, immediately. You can look. Johan King, won the short middle distances. Yeah, human mark.
Yeah.
Won the short distance averages, and I was second. I mean, they did exceptionally well. But then, because of all the other imports, I started not to neglect them, but to breed from the others.
Yes.
So last year I started to breed a lot with them. So this year, less for the guys this year. We'll see.
Yeah. So, but going back again, you're open to guys who would like to approach you and maybe buy a bird or two, or just for guys to get this top blood around, because it's
they're welcome to approach me. You see, Russell, the issue is I have a lot of pigeons available that I can sell, but my advice is actually buy youngsters, home them, because in the end you don't need to raise them. If you want to raise them, it's fine, but use them then.
Yeah.
Another thing that I forgot, it's because, I don't know, Cannibala. I have some of the best Cannibala. I don't think...
You're talking about the Van Dyke?
Yeah, the real McCoys. I imported 4 from Denmark. And I'm telling you, they are just super pigeons. I bred them brother-sister, and I crossed the babies. And Fred Coetzer at one stage sold a few for me. And the feedback, I immediately got feedback. That they're doing well.
He speaks very well of you, by the way, Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy knows.
Yeah. He's good pigeons there.
But let me also tell you, I have entered in Pattaya.
Okay.
1 year, a Cannibal Kettle crossing. And on spot 3, I was 22nd. You can go and look it up. Out of 5,033 pigeons crossing.
Also tough race.
And then I was with
humid.
Yeah. And then also at Vic Falls, I was, I think, 16th once. Also on, I think, 3rd or 4th odd spot with the Cannibal Kettle cross, you see. So, and then after those, I imported, what's that guy's name, Germany. Also 4 from Germany, Cannibala.
Okay.
If I show you the pedigrees, you'll say, no, it's impossible. You still can't get pigeons so close to the Cannibal.
Yeah.
Purebred Cannibal. Those are ideal if you cross them.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. I visited a guy there in Belgium. Very good friend of Roland Bauer, friend of mine. And Rick Coetzer, and he flew mainly.
Rick Coetzer?
Yes.
Yeah, he's mainly Van der Beer guys.
Yes.
Van der Beer pigeons.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, interesting enough, I imported from here, I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of them.
Of those birds.
Yeah,
another line.
Mark arranged for me because Mark and him, he's
very good
a teacher.
That's
Yeah, he likes to race in the hens.
That's right. Him and Mark are very good friends.
Yeah, now Mark arranged for me.
So they were in the line of the Cuddy Ball, they raced against them and so very, very good birds.
So I bought 10 hens from him.
Okay.
10.
I think one of Mark's top hens also come from Greek.
Yeah.
Mareka.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so out of the 10, 3 of them were very good for me.
Yeah, those are very
super
good.
hens.
Yeah.
Some of the others, my fault, I didn't utilize them enough, and they actually were wasted. But one of the 10 was not fertile. I don't know why. Maybe too much inbred. I couldn't make an egg from it. Not for one. But Riku's, especially, he's got very good pigeons.
Very, very. He flies I don't know if you've heard of this strain now, but they've moved over now. Because he had an auction and we sold out. And they've moved over to the Willem de Bruin pigeons.
Also exceptional pigeons.
Oh, unbelievable.
That's a Hollander, as we call it. I'm telling you, he's a dentist.
Yeah.
I have some of his pigeons, but not directly from him.
Okay.
You'll see that the helmet shields tend to get some of his key birds from Willem de Bruin. You see.
Okay.
And he used to mix them up.
Okay, so I went to the latest Blackpool show.
Oh,
and they put
but they're expensive, eh?
£95,000.
Yeah. He had a record sale now.
Yeah, that's
and even the year before that.
Yeah.
It's always here in December. I watched it,
And it was crazy.
Follow them, but
those Chinese bidders, they just put their hand up and then they put it down until they get
exactly. Yeah, don't tell me about the Chinese. I'm telling you, I've been on auctions.
And they're not shocked.
I lost a lot. 9 out of 10 times. If you place a bid with this Chinese or Taiwanese guy, you're out. I'm telling you, you cannot match them.
Yeah, no, you can't.
No, I'm telling you, they just go out.
So they just put their hand up, and the hand stays up.
Yeah.
And everybody from around the world's bidding on the phone, internet, until it stops on the Chinese lady's end. That's how it works.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So it's interesting that you got some of that Willem de Bruin blood in your stuff.
Yeah, those that comes through almond shields.
So Roland's imported some of them. And Power and Barnard.
Their birds tend to be biggish.
I haven't been to Handel, but I know they brought in
birds,
some of them now.
Yeah. Big, strong birds.
Is it?
Yeah.
And they brought in some of those new, I don't know if you've heard about them, those Blizzard King Kittles.
Yeah, it's a grizzlecock.
Yeah. So they brought in 4 of those. I went to handle those are handled super. But also just breeding now first for stock and then to breed. So I think we'll only see in a year or 2 how they race.
Next year. I'm not saying, look, we all want to win something, but I still would like to enter some of the Johnny Eccles here at Africa Prime.
Yes,
I'll do it next year.
Yeah.
Because, in my opinion, it's an exceptional pigeon. I mean, in that family, they've beaten the Kittles, they've beaten the best Kittles.
It's amazing, yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. What you say he's from Belgium? Is he from
Netherlands?
Netherlands.
He's all
okay.
Google him.
I'm going to Google him just now, Johnny Eccles. It's piqued my interest at. Never heard of him, but
I should keep quiet.
Yeah.
But you know what? Credit to him if he can sell pigeons.
Yes, 100%.
I don't think he'll. I've looked all over. I didn't see another auction because normally on pigeon.com you'll place 1 or 2 pigeons. There was one auction we had 3 pigeons on, and I purchased one, also a brother of Anne-Marie, the national race.
Yes. So besides all the imports that you brought in, is there would you say there's a South African race or strain that's been as superior as the imports that you brought in, or worked as well with them, or not really? Honestly.
The strain that I had, I think, was, for me, unbeatable, short to middle. You know?
Yeah.
The strain that I raced in the Federation.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the newer stuff now that you've acquired and brought in. You've obviously bought some.
I think the Twilights are very good pigeons. I think the Tom Locks are actually exceptional pigeons.
Yeah.
You'll see. I started to breed with the Tom Locks last year. We'll test the babies. We'll see. But yeah, for sure, there are very good pigeons, local pigeons. Yeah. Don't underestimate the local guys.
True.
As Johan King said, cross a Boerenperd with the export or import. You say import.
And you'll get something.
You'll definitely get something.
Yeah.
No, they're definitely good pigeons.
Okay.
You can look, there's a lot of fanciers, they're doing very well and they don't really import. Look at Professor Herman de Jager. Okay, at one stage he also imported certain pigeons, but for years he bred his own family and they did very well.
Mainly sprinters though, eh? From what I got, I never really knew him, I've been to him once.
Yeah, he doesn't want to fly on Sunday, so he tend to stop when it starts to get to overnight races.
Yeah.
You know that. But otherwise, his pigeons used to perform very well.
Yeah. Does he still race?
Last year, I think, but his health is not very good lately, unfortunately, from what I heard.
Okay.
I haven't.
Because I know last year they've had really very good success with these birds.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him for some time, but his pigeons, he used to be nearly unstoppable, short to middle.
Yeah,
years ago.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was very good.
And he didn't have the best loft position.
Yeah, I don't know Victoria, I visited them,
Yeah.
I don't know the positions there.
He was in the north, but more to the west.
To the west.
Yeah.
Closer to where Fanny Liver used to be. Up on the mountain there.
Yeah, about kilometer-wise, say 2, maybe 3 kilometers east of where Fanny was. We used to be, yeah.
Another champion fancier, eh? Just by the way.
Yeah, Fanny's always been a difficult customer.
Yeah.
He's always a competitor.
Always.
Yeah, met him in '85, and he was in his running shoes. He used to run the comrades a lot, a couple of times.
Yes.
He was always fit. Today, I don't know, the comrades may have buggered up his knees.
Yeah, shame his health's not 100%.
But him and his son Peter,
Yeah.
they're very competitive.
Very
you know,
competitive, yeah.
competitive. You must be on the ball to beat them, right?
Look, I think all that Pretoria, I mean, with the birds you're talking about, the competition, that's why I say Pretoria has risen above, because the Johannesburg guys haven't really, besides, I must say, Gijs Low, where we hear imports and buys top pigeons, and you know, Gijs is obviously a top fancier in our area, but he's also in your area.
Yeah, he's playing with the Kings.
Yeah,
in
so
partnership.
so he's also in your area. So apart from him, no one that really comes to mind as much as it is in Pretoria.
Yeah, Pretoria is tough, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's really
It's
tough.
really going to be tough.
And in all fairness and credit to the guys who came from the West, who used to fly in the Federation and are now flying in the Union. I know some of the guys won't like it, but those guys used to be underestimated. And I'm telling you.
That's the worst mistake you can make in this
country. I'm telling you, they are tough. They're tough nut to crack.
Yeah. Look, I think it's going to be tough now for the new setup. I gave you my point of view on the new setup with the Urf, and we'll see how it goes there. But we wish you well, and Fred, thank you very much for joining us. I think we need to do one podcast from Fred's lofts there to go through some of those birds, just to show the viewers what some of them will arrange that, what some of them look like.
I breed single pens.
Ah, fantastic.
Always single
Always
pens.
single pens.
I don't do DNA in pigeons, but whoever.
It's not necessary.
Yeah, but no, but if somebody is uncomfortable in or not sure with a specific breed, is more than welcome to come and have the DNA from the father and the mother at his cost.
Yes.
But single pens, and I'm
I'll,
sure
I'll be coming just to see Johnny Eccles.
you can come and have a look at Johnny. He's the main man.
He's the man I'm coming to see.
He's the main man.
Okay. Fred, thank you very much.
You're more than welcome.
It was a pleasure having you here.
It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again for the invite.
Okay.
Thank you.